haven't slept that well in a while. I am homeless. About a week ago, I came back from work and I bumped into my landlord who told me, hey, so it turns out that I'm not supposed to be renting y'all this place that you're living in because it's illegal for this floor to be an apartment. So could you just please find a new place to live as soon as possible? You gotta love old white European men who love pretending that they have any sense of empathy. And it just so happens that my contract was up a week later, only that he was telling me that I could renew it, and we were already making plans to renew it. But oops, guess all of that was utter BS, and I've potentially been paying rent this entire time to a criminal. So I was like, okay, my contract is up in like almost 2 weeks. That's enough time for me to find a new place. But then I get back from work on Tuesday, and my landlord tells me, yeah, I called an electrician. He's gonna come this week to destroy the entire kitchen and the washing machine and basically any traces that anyone ever lived here. Dear, why don't you just take legal action? Because it's expensive and time/energy consuming. And also, he kept reiterating that if I did go to the cops, me and my flatmates were also gonna be guilty of living under illegal circumstances, even though we had no idea, which means that could also be BS. But it just so happens that this landlord of mine, who's potentially an international criminal, owes me a deposit that I paid him when I started renting him the apartment. A 900 euro deposit, which is the equivalent of $900. If he were to disappear to Costa Rica tomorrow, there's really nothing I could do. I mean, for all I know, he could be boarding a plane for there right now. Hence why I'm recording at a random location outdoors instead of my apartment with a hole in the wall that has a set of cables that could potentially make me unalive if I touch them, because all that is probably gone by now. Since my landlord got rid of the kitchen and basically everything else I needed to live there, I had to unexpectedly move that same week. And so I've been living in a hostel for the last 7 days, which has been a wonderful experience while I look for a new apartment. You know, just sleeping in a room with 8 other people, sharing a fridge with about 40 other people in a building, constantly being paranoid that someone's gonna steal my yogurt for the second time. Add to that my daily 3-hour commute to work, and I'm living the dream. I can sue my landlord because he basically kicked me out before my contract was up. But again, that requires a lot of money, time, and energy, which you don't really have a lot of when you're living abroad. For context, I live in Spain, and currently I work as an English language assistant at a public school. So I help a bunch of little shits learn English because it's the easiest way I found to get a visa to live here. Why do I want to live in Spain? Reasons you shouldn't live in Spain, coming soon. And don't get me wrong, I know that I'm very privileged to even be living in Europe, period. But that doesn't change the fact that I was basically fucked over in a split second. For no reason other than my landlord being a shady little shit. Not to mention that finding an apartment in the city I live in is almost impossible, especially one that I can afford with how much I make as a public servant. In other words, your girl literally had to move to a 2-star hostel overnight, which is where I'm still staying at. Living in a hostel with all my belongings isn't the best of circumstances, but I literally lived through a hurricane where I was 17 and had to live without electricity or phone signal for 3 months in Puerto Rico, so I've definitely been through worse. But that still makes it impossible for me to give you all a video like usual, so we have this instead. Me ranting while I constantly try to find the best angle against the sun. Not gonna lie though, it like really slaps. But I also hope that this horrible experience where I have potentially been scammed out of $900 plus a roof to sleep under is a learning lesson not only for me, but also for anyone who's watching this. When you sign a contract for a place, make sure your landlord's not a shady little shit like mine. Read your contracts thoroughly. Though in this case, the contract I signed was violated and apparently it doesn't seem to have any meaning, but you still gotta be careful and always consider getting legal representatives involved. Anyways, I'll keep you all updated, and hopefully by next week we will be back to some more stable circumstances where I can give you all some other form of me suffering that doesn't involve me losing almost $1,000. I hope you're doing well and you're not having it as rough as me. And if you are, just know this: one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna think, damn, that was a really crappy time. I really thought I was never gonna recover from that, and I didn't. But that's life. Love you. Bye.
You got me exclusive. I'm so high up and lucid. You take me to a safe place. We steady on the same pace, yeah. I'm crazy, you like that. Don't back down, no you talk back. Keep it spicy, there's a fat fact. We on the right